Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout, and we've been talking to the spokesman of the Nigerian Navy, Commodore Adedotun Olukayode Ayo Von. Mayor.
Commodore, it's no longer news that European tankers and business interests are ready buyers of stolen Nigerian crude. How do you put an end to this?
Okay. Just like you said, there is no longer news. The Nigerian Navy has put in place our surveillance capability based on the vessels that are approved by NNPCL to come to our terminals to load crude. When the names of the vessels reach naval headquarters, they are keyed into the maritime domain awareness assets, such that any vessel that is spotted within our waters, without its name being on that list, automatically raises an alarm. That was the same thing that happened in the case of MT Heroic Edun. I know that a lot of persons still hold the misconception as to what happens out there. But the maritime surveillance capability of the Nigerian Navy is a state-of-the-art asset that we don't even have in some developed countries. It is just like I said, the CCTV that we have in our homes and in our offices that allows you to have 24/7 surveillance of our waters. As long as it's on the surface of the water, we spot it at our regional control centers and at our command control center in Abuja here. And the vessels that are above 300 tons above us are under normal circumstances to have the automatic identification system on. So we have that surveillance system, and at any time, any vessel proceeding to Braz Terminal, Bonny Terminal, or any of the oil fields, we have the document from NNPCA to authenticate whether that vessel is nominated to load or not. And this is done 24/7. And so that is what we have in place to check. I just need to mention that the Trinity of Action, which is the tripod operational approach of the Nigerian Navy, includes surveillance, which is with our maritime domain awareness system, Falcon Eye alignment particularly, response, which is with our vessels and our helicopters, and law enforcement, which is also carried out with our vessels out there at sea. So this is the approach that we have put in place, and this is the approach that we will maintain, as well as collaboration with other Gulf of Guinea nations under the Yaoundé architecture.
Let's talk about piracy. Let's talk about piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. What's the situation like in the last 1 year? Have we been able to make some progress in that area?
Yes, we have made progress in the area of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. In the last 7 months or thereabouts, there have been no record of attacks in our waters. I have the bar charts there that shows the trend as it has been since 2015. As a matter of fact, we have it now that the International Maritime Bureau has delisted Nigeria from piracy-prone nations. That was around March this year. And the curve has flattened such that in the last 27 years, the record of piracy has not been seen as low as it is today. It has been as a result of hard work on the part of the Navy, as well as collaboration with maritime stakeholders and regional partners and strategic partners also, to ensure that our waters are safe for maritime commerce, trade, and safe use of our waters.
Now, then, the Navy some time ago inaugurated a maritime awareness program. Walk us through it.
Okay, the maritime awareness program that I recall was sometimes on the 21st of June this year at the World Hydro Day celebration that took place in Victoria Island in Lagos. It was brought to the fore that there is a dread of human resource, the willingness on the part of our young men and women to study hydrography, which is very germane for a maritime nation. As a result of that, there was the need to create awareness in the young minds to take up interest in hydrography, and the Navy went to Lagos, Port Harcourt, as well as some schools in Kano State. We also hold seminars, workshops, and conferences regularly to deal with what some people call sea blindness, because here in Africa, here in our climate, a lot of people do not know the significance and the importance of the oceans. In many quarters now, they are talking about blue economy, good and effective ocean governance, and the use of the oceans to enrich the maritime nation. So just June this year, at the 66th anniversary of the Nigerian Navy, the Navy hosted about 38 heads of navies from Africa and beyond Africa to an international maritime conference which held at One in Rivers State. The fallout of that conference was the Port Harcourt Statement, which is also to further drive the establishment of a regional task force to deal with maritime infractions and criminalities in the Gulf of Guinea in our waters.
We understand that.
A lot is being done to create that awareness at the strategic level, at the regional level.
Okay, Commodore, our time is fast spent.
The secondary school level.
Okay, Commodore.
It might interest you to know that we also have about 9 Nigerian Navy secondary schools.
Okay,
and the
Commodore.
Nigerian Navy military school at Ikotetuen in Akwa Ibom State.
Okay. Commodore, we understand.
Apart from the normal academics that they go through, they also have an eye-opener, so to say, as to the importance of our waters.
Okay, Commodore.
Okay, we understand that you have more platforms in your inventory. What value do they add to the Navy's desire to keep our territorial waters safe?
Okay, the platforms of paramount importance, because the platforms are what enables us to maintain presence at sea. You know, the maritime domain is a very peculiar domain. The waters of the world account for about 71% of the entire Earth crust. In our nation here, we have about 84,000 square nautical miles of maritime heritage. So we give much gratitude, and we are most grateful to Mr. President, who has enabled the Navy to sustain our fleet recapitalization efforts with the acquisition of our recent landing ship transport, Nigerian Navy ship Kada, that arrived in Nigeria on the 27th of May. NNS Kada has the sea lift capability to carry out amphibious operation with our army counterparts, the Nigerian Army.
Okay.
NNS Kada also has capacity for humanitarian and
Commodore,
maritime operations.
Our time is fast spent. I want to thank you, the spokesperson of the Nigerian Navy, Commodore Adedotun Olukayode Ayo Von.